guys, welcome back to the Cocco channel and to another Q&A video with a special guest. So I posted a poll on YouTube and you guys said you wanted Andrew in my video. So you guys asked a bunch of questions and we're gonna answer them. Okay, let's go. So Super Chick 34 wants to know what the best advice for relationship issues such as arguing and not seeing eye to eye on things.
Best advice for relationship issues? I think one thing that works well for me personally is just being patient and not blow things out of proportion. And don't fight over tiny things. So I'd say the big one is patience.
Yeah.
Don't blow up.
He's like very much my yin to my yang. I'm like very hot and like immediately react, to whereas he is like very calm and waits until the steam kind of goes away and then we kind of like talk it out. I think I've worked though on like quick to respond since we've been married. We're coming up on 7 years in 2018, so I think that we've definitely... Patience is a big one, and working on me personally, like temper, like you kind of have to figure out like what balances each other out. Like Andrew knows balancing me out with patience, and then I need to work on obviously that heat. So working on like balancing each other out, I think, like figuring out how to just level it. If you both are hot, obviously you guys both need to work on that. And then if you both, I think another thing that Andrew and I work on big time is communication, because a lot of times he wants to like kind of just shut down, but I need to talk about it. Like, this is why I feel this way. So I think that communication and patience is a big one. Yeah,
and listening to what the other person has to say. Don't be afraid to be wrong.
Yeah.
If
and admitting.
Wrong, yeah. Admit. Acknowledge that you're wrong. Don't try and hide it.
Oh. Okay, Miss Beth Wade, question for Andrew. What is the best advice you can give to Brittany to help her stay calm now that you are out on the road as a LEO, law enforcement officer? I can't imagine how scary it must be for her. Also, thank you, Andrew, for doing your job as a police officer. We need you. Hashtag thin blue line.
Oh, thank you.
It was nice. Miss Beth's the best.
Best advice to stay calm? That's a tough one. My best advice would just to be to know that we are well trained. It's not like you just get 2 weeks of training and they throw you out there. To know and understand that we are well trained, and the department does have our best interests at heart. They pair you up with somebody for the first like 4 months with a well-seasoned officer who's there side by side with everything that you do, every little thing you go through him. He's backing you up every single day, 100% of the time you're on the job. And then we're lucky with Phoenix that we do have a relatively large department that if we do need backup, they're no more than just a couple minutes away at all times. So we are fortunate in that aspect. And like I said, we are well trained, or I'd like to think that we're well trained. I think we have a pretty top-notch department. And then I feel like our leadership cares about us from the chief to our commander in the precinct. I feel like we're well cared for. They do care about our well-being, and they take officer safety very, very seriously. So, yeah.
That's your advice to me?
Just to realize and understand that, they just don't throw us out there.
Yeah.
So.
And I think going back to what you said too about like the leadership caring for you, because I mean, not only is there like a danger thing, it kind of goes along with that. Like, it's really popular not to like cops right now. He's like well represented if anything were to go wrong or something like that. So I think that there's a lot of insurance in that as well.
Yeah.
Good answer. Thank you, Miss Beth. So Miss Michelle says, hey, beautiful friend, will each of you make New Year's resolutions, and if so, what will they be? Love you, XOXO Michelle. I don't think we've ever made New Year's resolutions.
I used to. Then I never would follow through on them. So I typically don't, just because when I don't, inevitably I don't follow through, I just feel guilty the rest of the year. And I don't want to be that person where it's like, maybe next year, maybe next year. So I just keep chugging along with what I'm doing, try to do the best I can.
I think we make goals for ourselves throughout the year, though, really. I remember one year, I think for Christmas, it was for a Christmas present, I gave him a gift of Nicorette gum to quit smoking, and I don't even know if it lasted until New Year's, like a week. I don't even know if it lasted that long. So I think I agree with him, like, it just doesn't stick. It's one of those things where we make small goals throughout the year. Like, I think next year our biggest thing, obviously, is going to be getting in our own home. Is a huge goal of ours. A goal of Andrew's is he wants to make tech sergeant before he gets deployed, so we can make that money. And that comes with like a lot of things. He has to volunteer and stuff like that, but he's also brand new on the police force. So Andrew has, you know what I mean, had such an amazing and rewarding year already. And I think next year's going to be even better. And especially obviously with a baby due at the beginning of the year. So I think our best bet for ourselves is making small goals throughout the year. Oh, and a new car. Because 2 kids and a 2-seat, or 2-door. Not the best thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Martha F. My husband and I have 5 boys, ages 17 to 3, and 2 of them have shown great interest in joining the military after they graduate. They are part of a small ROTC in their Christian school and love it. Having a son yourselves and also coming from a military background, thank you for your service. Do you have any advice, wisdom for young men who are considering joining? Thanks, and Merry Christmas to your sweet family. You guys are precious.
I'd tell them to find what they're interested in. First and foremost, I've talked to a lot of people, family members included, who they just can't wait to get into the military. They want to rush in and get the first job that's available, and then they get in, and then they don't like their job and they can't wait to get out. So I say if they're interested in something, even if they have to wait 6 months or a year before they can get in,
patience.
Tell them to hold off, wait for the job that they want,
and to fight for it, because the recruiters are going to push you into what spaces they need. Because when I was trying to join, I wanted radiology, but like Andrew said, I didn't want to wait and put in the work to already have my degree. And the recruiter was blocking me, saying that these were the 5 things that were available, and security forces was number 1. And that's what Andrew was in, and he regretted it as well. And I'm thankfully got married and didn't have to go into it. But a lot of Andrew's peers absolutely could not wait to get out of that job field. So like Andrew said, I totally agree with that. Like, whatever they want to do, make sure that they stick to their guns on that's what they want to do, and to put the work in to do it. It'll be worth it in the end, not just get in there as quick as possible. And
I'd say don't be afraid to go to school before. You know, I think it matures you. A lot of the people that I've talked to who may have been a couple of years older than a lot of the guys and who have college experience, they're treated differently by leadership in a positive manner, in a positive way. They're treated differently. They're looked at differently, more mature, more responsible. So
it wouldn't hurt to go in as an officer either.
Well, yeah, if you want to take that route, that's a good route to go. It's tough, you know. If you want to go in as an officer, then it's not easy, but you can do it, and it's.
That's a way to make money too. Being in the military is if you were in as an officer.
Yeah, you're making pretty decent money as an officer. But yeah, going in, talking to the recruiter, don't be afraid to tell the recruiter no. And ask questions, constantly ask questions, you know, because the recruiters aren't bad people by no means, but they still have a job. They need to get bodies, you know, so, but. Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad lifestyle. Like, him and I, just because we're out of active duty now, we wouldn't say, like, don't do it. I think it's a great lifestyle, and they took care, like, in the long run, the military takes care of their people.
Yeah.
As far as the lifestyle goes, you don't have to worry about rent, you don't have to worry about utilities, you don't have to worry about medical, you don't have to worry about retirement, any of that.
Yeah, and now with the retirement being said, retirement has changed a little bit with the military. It's not what it was. Within the past year, it's changed. So talk to the recruiter about that. It's called the blended retirement system, and ask them what has changed and what it means for you
And make sure you ask about the education too, because that changes all the time. If
Yeah.
you were to go in and then you want to do education while you are in, that's changed a lot too.
Yeah, education. The benefit's still there.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of times, what was it, in 2012, I think, they actually did away with the education for a little bit, and there was such an uproar that they gave it back to us.
But they took away the
or
spouses.
they were talking about getting rid of it, and then they eventually didn't. But it's still, I don't regret it. I don't regret joining.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to look at the other branches, what the other branches have to offer.
Sure.
When I was coming out of high school, you know, as like a 17, 18-year-old, I wanted to join the Marine Corps because I felt that they were the biggest, baddest, toughest group of people, and I felt like if I wasn't going to be part of that group, I didn't want to do it at all. And I didn't even give the Air Force a look. It wasn't until I grew up a little bit and became more mature, and I was like, I don't really have anything to prove to myself. That's when I settled on the Air Force, and I'm happy with the Air Force. I love the Air Force.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to look at what the other branches have to offer.
Yeah. That's really good advice, baby. Okay. Butterfly Sings 01. Does it make you nervous that Andrew is a police officer? There's been so much hate towards the police in recent years. It's pretty scary. I commend him and your family for his service to the community. It does. You know what I mean? You guys, I've never kept it a secret on this channel that I'm Christian, and so I firmly believe in when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, whether it's him out on the street, you know what I mean, on duty, or he chokes on a chicken bone here in our kitchen, you know what I mean? So that part, I mean, saying that now is completely different than if he actually did die in either one of those situations, but I just mean that him dying doesn't really worry me, but something that, because it's such a controversy right now to be a police officer, I think I'm more worried about that, like having him or his, like, not pride, what's the word I'm looking for, like, not personality.
Reputation?
Yeah, kind of like a reputation, like under attack, like his, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the type of person he is, you know what I mean? Like anyone questioning that he's a good person or a good man, you know what I mean? Because of one thing that could happen that people on the outside view as one way when there's like a completely different way of how police officers look at something. And you know what I mean, in those moments of high adrenaline and when their life is on the line, like obviously I want him to choose to come home to me every night, not some scumbag who's running away or running towards him, you know what I mean? So there's only like that split second, and it could change not only his life but obviously mine and our kids and our surrounding families, just with controversy and you know what I mean, stuff like that. That I think worries me more than anything.
Yeah, I try not to pay attention to it. Whenever I see a headline that says something about the police or something, I just don't pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't care to read it. You know, it doesn't really bother me how people
perceive.
Yeah, I just don't care. I don't pay attention to it. So because if I do, I don't let it bother me.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't want it to let it bother me and carry that on to the streets. You know, it's not fair to the other people who I might come in contact, and maybe they don't feel that way. And I don't want to treat everybody in a negative manner just because I read some article. You know, at the end of the day, the news media, they put out certain articles a certain way because they want to get people to view them. And what better way to get people to read their articles than to stir up outrage, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, I think it's just, you don't really know the person behind the badge, you know what I mean? And so being this close to like a situation like that, it does worry me. Like I don't read those articles or anything either. I mean, sometimes it's something that you can't help because we just had a Phoenix police officer that got not off, but not guilty.
Oh, the Mesa.
Yeah.
Mesa police officer.
And so, you know what I mean? Like it's scary because I know what kind of person Andrew is, and especially like what kind of cop he is. Like even though he's only been like out on the streets for 3 weeks, coming up on 4. So if something were to happen and you know what I mean, people just automatically assume that you're a bad person and you're racist or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? So I think that's the only thing that really worries me, just because I love Andrew so much. Leah Hollenbeck says, for both of you, how excited are you for a baby girl to be here?
Very excited. Obviously, this is my first daughter, so I know it's going to be a different challenge than raising a little boy, but it's going to be a fun challenge. And I know as they grow up, they have, boys and girls are different, and they're going to have just behave differently. It's going to be a lot of fun to see and frustrating to see how different they are. And
realistic.
But I'm excited for it. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
I'm really excited because I can't breathe and I waddle all over the house. And Andrew has to take my shoes off. No, I really am excited for her to be here because, like Andrew said, it's just going to be so, interesting and amazing to see how different their mannerisms are, how they bond differently, and, it's just going to be really, really exciting. I can't wait to see how different they are, and then at the end of the day, hope, that they get along and they have a really good relationship. Andrew has an amazing relationship with his sister, all of his siblings actually, and I didn't grow up with that, and so I just really, really want that so bad for our kids, and so I just want them to be close. And obviously, siblings fight and they do whatever, but it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a really fun journey.
It is.
Miss Shauna from the Love of Makeup says, yay! Does Andrew tell his friends or coworkers you do videos? I hope not.
No, I honestly don't. Just because the people that I've been around since we've moved here have just been mostly guys, in the Air Force, and then mostly guys in the police department. So, I mean, they wouldn't respond to it at all. And I'm not saying it's negative, but they would just be like, oh, that's cool. And then they would just move on with it.
Well, yeah, and a lot of your friends and coworkers are into video games and completely, yeah. Anyways, do you watch my videos? No, he doesn't. And I like it that way. It's embarrassing almost. I have no problem sitting here and talking and shooting the what with strangers, but when family or his sister and her wife will say we watched your video, I'm it's kind of cringy, you know what I mean? So I like that Andrew does not watch them. And then she said, when are y'all gonna move to Texas? He. I know you all aren't, but that's my dream. Do you plan on having any more babies?
Moving to Texas, probably not.
We looked at it.
Yeah, I can't remember what department I was looking at.
Was it San Antonio?
I don't think so.
Anyways, one of them pays.
One of the bigger cities in Texas, population-wise, they actually pay very well.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that, but the only thing is, I mean, I have family in Texas, good people, very good people. I love very much, but other than that, my parents aren't there. Brittany's parents aren't there.
Yeah.
And I don't know Texas.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been to San Antonio, where Lackwood is. But other than that, I don't know it at all. So it would just be picking up and moving to an unfamiliar state. I know Texas is a good place to live. They definitely have their stuff together for sure.
Yeah. I have a ton of subscribers from Texas.
Yeah, Texas is a good state to live. No doubt. And then any more babies? I have no idea.
I'm begging him for 3, and the more I get into pregnancy and the more I complain, he's like, you really want 3?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think 3 is a perfect number, but again, it all depends on the situation. I mean, next year is going to be really, really tough anyway because Andrew's finishing up his probation, we're going to have a new baby, and then he gets deployed, and then I already turned 30, and I'm not saying that there's an age limit on having kids, but Andrew's old. I'm just kidding. So we'll see. I really do want 3 though, because then the next one we have 1 boy, 1 girl. Not that it wouldn't matter, but it would just be a blessing no matter what it was. There's no pressure on we need a girl or we need a boy, or you know what I mean. And at least out of 3, 2 of them will get along hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. And then she said, does Andrew know your favorite makeup brand?
Sephora? I have no idea.
Sephora sells. I mean, they do have a brand, but
Too Faced?
that's it. It used to be. I don't think I've told you since that it changed to Tart.
Oh.
Okay, Miss Jacqueline says, my question for Andrew is, what did you think or how did you react when Brittany first told you about starting a YouTube channel?
I don't remember. It was so long.
You guys have to realize Andrew's like the most level person ever. He wasn't like, what? Like, that's stupid. Or he wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. He was like, okay. I think you were like very, okay.
Like, oh, yeah, that's what you want to do. That's
cool. He's always been very, very supportive of it though. I mean, gifts, he's bought me like equipment. I mean, we dropped a ton of money on my camera. You know what I mean? Like, he's always been very, very supportive. And when I like bitch and complain about my analytics, even though he probably has 0% idea what I'm talking about, he's like, that's really stupid. You know what I mean? Like, he's been very, very, very supportive ever since the beginning when I had 3 people watching, including my mom. So. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a cool undertaking, you know, to have all this set up and just to do it out of, I mean, we're not making money off of it, you know, so just to be doing all this just as a hobby, I think it's cool. You know, it's obviously a lot of fun, a lot of work goes into it. So I think it's kind of a cool thing.
Thanks. Okay, she said also, what do you think will be the biggest difference between raising a daughter versus raising a son?
Sheesh.
Changing diapers? I'm just kidding. I mean, girls and boys are just so different. I mean, obviously, like, you have the whole difference of puberty, you know? Boys are, like, rambunctious and crazy, and girls are emotional and, you know.
Yeah.
That.
My thing, I think, as they get older, or as they start growing up, is not to treat them differently. And I'm not saying that I would treat one well over the other, or, you know, but just not like, I wouldn't want to baby our girl just because she's a girl. And I wouldn't want to be all manly with Aiden just because he's a boy.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to take both of them out to the shooting range and both of them out fishing, both of them out hiking, you know, just do things with both of them.
Yeah, and same with me. Like, I would want to do arts and crafts with both of them. I would want to do baking with both of them. So both of them get a taste of, they don't have a separation of boy and girl. I mean, and then obviously you have to do certain things individually, you know what I mean? To give each one one-on-one time and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to not tell our little girl, no, you can't do that. That's only for boys. Like, if she wants to play basketball or something like that, no, that's only for boys. You know, you don't want to do, or football even. Yeah. No, that's a boy sport. And then on the flip side, if Aiden wanted to, I don't know, dance, gymnastics or dance, I would be like, no, that's for girls. You know, I'm not saying I'm gonna force Barbies in Aiden's hand. You know, come on, but. Yeah, I'm just gonna try my best not to treat them differently. You know, I'm gonna pamper both of my kids for sure. I'm gonna spoil them, but not to the point to where they become rotten. Yeah. You know.
I think that's a big thing too, is like not shaming them ever for something that they want to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, that's a boy thing, that's a girl thing. Making them feel bad, because then I feel like they can't come to you with anything. Yeah,
I mean, I want our girl to be a better shot than I am when she gets older. And then when she gets old, like in the teenagers, I have no idea how it's gonna. I have no idea. I can tell you, I think boys are easier.
For teens.
Yeah, teenage boys are easy to handle. Yeah. For me, I think. I mean.
I was a terrible teenager.
Yeah, I just wouldn't know how to handle girls. But I mean, it's just something you deal with, I guess.
Just learn as it comes.
Yeah. As a man, I can tell you that men are one-track minds. We have an objective. That's what we want. You know?
And we do not. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
Million boxes.
We're focused on one thing at a time. Just, you know, whether it be I'm not getting like sexual here, but I'm just
I mean,
saying,
they do have the sex on the brain. They have the work on the brain. They have the family. It's like one thing at a time. It's a little bit easier to communicate. And I think that girls, it's scattered. It's all over the place. One thing leads into another, into another, into another, into another.
You can just be blunt with the dudes. And just be like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. You know.
Yeah. There's not like a secret hidden meaning behind everything with the guys.
Yeah.
Where there is with us. I think it'll be a learning experience though. But I think our biggest thing is like keeping calm, because I mean, I've told you guys already how hot my temper is, and then it's kind of transferred into Aiden a little bit. Just a little. And it is a mix of like him being 2 and, you know what I mean, him only being with me and stuff like that. And so I feel like our biggest thing is going to be communication and like level, just like how Andrew and I work on that with each other. I think that's what we're going to be working on with the kids too. Talking, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the biggest difference between boy and girl, aside from the obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, Twinneration X, which says, first of you, like and comment for once. So for Andrew, what does he love most about you?
Something that I love most, just how loving and caring Brittany is. Yeah, I know it seems like just a generic thing to say, but every day before I leave for work, she helps me carry my stuff out every single day. She makes my lunch every day. When I used to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, she would wake up every morning and make a lunch for me. And made sure I have everything that I need. And then I talk to a lot of guys, and they're like, "Really, your wife does that?" They're like, "My wife, I try to get her up, give her a kiss before I leave, and she tells me to leave me alone and rolls over, goes back to sleep." But yeah, just how loving and caring.
The small things.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What does he wish you wouldn't do? Any pet peeves? Miss Edith, you're about to start a fight.
Yeah. Slam doors. Always slam doors. That's how I know she's mad, because I'll hear a door slam.
So funny. I literally just did it.
I know, I slammed the back door.
Which is a slider. It's not even the easiest thing to do, but I did it. That's your biggest pet peeve about me?
I can't really think of anything else.
You used to be smoking.
Yeah, smoking is...
I hated it.
Yeah.
Okay. Only in my dreams. Question for both of you. How many more children would you like? We already answered that. I want 3, but we're gonna see. We're good with 2 right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with 2, but if we have 3 or 4, I wouldn't be against it. You know, if it happens, it happens. If we have triplets, then I'd be okay with it. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have 6 kids, I'd be just as happy as I am now.
You guys have to realize Andrew's like the best dad in the whole entire world too. He's seriously, when I had Aiden, I had a C-section, and he like did all the nighttime feedings, the nighttime changings. Even now, like he does, you know what I mean, diapers, he does feeding, he does, you know what I mean, he takes Aiden outside. He's just like one of those really, really hands-on dads, and so that's why I would be okay with having 3. He was amazing at the hospital. He's just an amazing, amazing, caring, hands-on dad, so that's why I would be okay with 20. Oh, that's funny. A lot though. At least 1 more. And then she said, hubby, are you planning a push gift already?
What's a push gift?
When I push this baby out of me, you owe me a gift.
Oh. I never heard that before, to be honest with you.
I guess the gift is baby girl.
The gift is baby girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. The gift can be...
A house.
Yeah, a house.
Give me a house to put that baby in. She said, both of you, where do you see yourselves in 5 years from now? Hugs.
I'd see us finally in our own home with another car. debt free. I mean, we're not like crippled with debt right now by any means, but still debt free. And maybe I'll have transferred to another area of the department. You know, I can get detective or something like that. I don't know. But I think the two big things are Aiden is in school. We have our own house, not renting. We bought it, and then we have another car, a nice car.
Yeah.
And then being able to go
Vacation.
on vacation every year or every other year or something like that.
I mean, in 5 years, she would be 5. Like, that would be right around the time we could go to Disneyland. Aiden would be like almost 8. Definitely our own home, our own second vehicle, paid off, preferably. Like he said, I think our biggest thing is being debt free. Maybe one more chamaco, which is a child, maybe not. And see how it's going with Phoenix PD. Ultimately, I think Andrew and I are not going to stay in Phoenix forever. Him and I are just not fans of the heat. Him and I love cold and snow and stuff. And so we're looking into transferring eventually. Not anytime soon, because obviously, like we said, we're buying a house. We want to end up in a cooler climate, so whether that's like northern Arizona, northern Utah, maybe Colorado, Alaska. It's just so hot here, and him and I are not used to it.
I mean, I was born and raised in the desert. I just don't like it.
So was I. Maybe that's why we don't like it. It's because we spent our whole entire life here. I think 6 years of having 4 seasons in DC was... It's the only thing that we miss is the 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And that's literally it.
I just wish that, I don't know, it wasn't so hot. Arizona's a good state to live in.
Yeah.
It's just, it's too hot here. Just way too hot. But then, yeah, northern Arizona is completely different. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It's like mountains and pines and snow and 4 seasons. But we got to figure out the whole police department thing. So anyways, that's where we see ourselves. We're probably in 5 years going to be thinking about maybe moving because he'll have more clout under his belt. And we could have some good equity into a home by then. 5 years if we're getting a house this year. Or technically next year. So anyways, that's where we see ourselves. And that was the last question. That was it.
Oh, that was all?
That's it.
Oh.
Not too shabby. Thanks so much for coming on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up.
And thank you everybody for your support.
Yes.
I really do appreciate it. It means a lot, honestly.
Aww. We love our blue supporters. If you're new, hello and welcome. My name is Brittany Cocco. This is my husband, Andrew Cocco. And you are watching the Cocco channel. Please subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Oh, is it recording?
Well, yeah, but I can edit whatever out. Does it look off? It looks slanted, huh?
Yeah. Time out. Yeah, a little lipstick right here.
Get it off.
Okay, go. Go and smear it.
Is it gone? Are you sure it's lipstick?
Yeah, it was lipstick.
Oh. Is it gone?
I think so. Yeah.
Is my lip line all messed up now?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just like right under your nose.
Oh.
Ah, man. Sorry. I feel like I was gonna sneeze. You can edit that out.
I will. Or put it in the bloopers.
Yeah.
That would be my son. He doesn't get that from me.
I don't know why he just got upset. He just ran across the hallway here and
stuff like that, but we would like to
give me a second.
What was wrong?
The movie turned off on him.
Oh.
He was mad. He was super
pissed.
offended about it. Oh,
Alright.
how red my hands look.
Your cheeks are super red too. Look like you're blushing.
Really? Better not be getting sick. That would suck.
Told you to stop kissing your kid on the mouth.
think it's him putting his fingers in her mouth and then touching everything.
Or the fact that he sneezes right in our faces.
Yeah, could be that too.
Anyways.
You welcome.
We love our blue Okay, we gotta do a thumbnail now.
Do a thumbnail?
Yep.
Oh.
Probably put writing above. That's could be good.
Okay. Oh, those circling? Is that non-transferable?
It's like a perfect line too. Okay, that's it. Oh.